My dad would come home and he worked basically 24 hours. That you have to have a job that paid the bills, but you also have to have a job that you love. To oversee facilities that are drug and alcohol, mental health facilities that are adult, adolescent. So you're dealing with a lot of people that need a lot of help. So you have clients that are going into hospitals that are getting they're unsafe to themselves, to others in a residential facility, and he's in charge of that. So you can imagine at 3 o'clock in the morning, your dad's getting up in the middle of the night and dealing with a crisis. There wasn't a family dinner that didn't get interrupted by a phone call. Let's just put it that way. So you just would hear these stories. And every holiday, these people kind of became your family. We always sponsored somebody every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, every Easter. We did a care package. We always wrapped presents for families that didn't have enough. We always took somebody in, whether they were families that, were homeless, whether it was families that were just kicked out of a residential facility that were, in a step-down program or whatever. And so growing up in that environment and learning how to give to others, I think that really rubbed off on me. I always loved hearing my dad's stories. I loved hearing, "Dad, what was that phone call?" It was just fascinating to me, all the things that he came into, and just the fact that people let him into his life, or that he was allowed to touch somebody's life like that. And my mom is very much a person that is always willing to help everyone. Like, for example, the other night, she's opening up the mail, and she says, "I wish I could give to every single charity that writes to me." And she would if she could. My dad, that's the type of job so the two of them together are like the bleeding hearts. So I think no matter what path I took, it was kind of like somehow the social services, it was going to happen. I felt like I came full circle with that. I think it was in my blood. It's funny because last year I had a parent come back, and it's probably, I was at my other school for 7 years, so I forgot that I had her son my first year. And so she said to me, "Oh, I didn't recognize the name because her son was under another name." And so she sat down to meet me the first day of her son's senior year. And I had met her son a million times before. I had him for 3 years, but I never met his mom. And so his mom came in for senior. We had our senior meeting, so we always meet the parent senior year. And she said, "Oh, you had my other son." As soon as she said our other son's name, I looked at her and said, "Oh my gosh," I said, "I never thought we were going to survive that year," because it was a rough year. Her son ended up literally getting arrested at graduation. Like, we knew he was going to get arrested. Like, there was a warrant out for his arrest. And the cops had called and said, "Is he showing up for graduation?" I knew he was going to get arrested that night. I said, "Just let him get his diploma that night, and then you can arrest him afterwards." And I let his mom know that so that she could have his moment, because they wanted to arrest him before. So this was a long struggle throughout the year with him, with the cops and things. So that was the type of struggle we had the whole year with this son. And she said, you always were real with us. You never sugarcoated anything. And what's nice about that is that that's how I was raised. No sugarcoating anything. My dad always used to say, don't put sugar on anything. Just keep it real. And not keep it real was something later on in life, but you don't put sugar on anything. It's too sweet. It's not real. And it's true, because when it does hit you, if it is too sweet, then you can't handle it. when I'd had parents come back and say, you know, a lot of times somebody wants you to hold your hand. And I will hold people's hands. I will hold your hand. I will walk beside you. I will carry you through whatever you need me to carry you through. But I won't tell you things that are not true. I won't tell you things just to blow the smoke through you. I'm going to be honest with you because you need to hear it. Because the reality of the situation is that the world's tough. Life is tough. And the sooner we face that and be ready for it and be as strong as we can, strong women especially, the more prepared we'll be. Unfortunately, so many times I think we're just ready to be like, okay, here's my present, I graduated, yes! And that's not the case. You have to be prepared for it. And that should be on my gravestone, should be on my tombstone. Because that was something that, yeah, that's my motto. You don't put sugar on anything.